host it?
Yeah, you betcha.
Alrighty.
Okay, hello, Tanitapi. Hope you are doing well. My name is Alan Friesen. My Blackfoot name is Samansky. With me is Elder Roger Prairie Chicken. We are hoping to have other candidates join us for chief candidates, but if they don't, that's okay. Roger has a message he wants to share with you.
Okay.
Roger, to you.
Okay. This pertains to the elections, the Blood Tribe elections concerns and updates from November 2024. Yesterday, Roy Fox had a dinner, and then there was a lot of information that was shared to me from there. And then, so basically, I wrote it down and then as notes, and I'm gonna read it to you guys. At the Chiefs Candidates Forum held on November 19, 2024, only 4 candidates were present. Travis and Winston and 4 other candidates were absent from the forum. According to the grassroots supporters, Travis attended a separate forum in Laverne instead. When asked why he did not attend the Chiefs Candidates Forum, Travis reportedly stated that he did not want to run for chief. It was Roy who appointed him. Furthermore, he allegedly told an elderly couple that he is already chief and does not need to campaign because he is the next Black Tribe chief. So there's a lot of concerns on those the information we received. The concerns were raised by elders who emphasized that prayer will save the land and treaty rights. They urged the Blood Tribe community to recognize what they believe to be significant issues, stating that Roy said that Roy sold us out and now a non-Indigenous control the Blood Tribe lands through corporations.
Roger, can you just repeat that? You just froze for a minute there, so we couldn't hear you. Can you just repeat that?
Just repeat that go back to John Jervis.
Okay.
We didn't hear you yet.
All right. John Jurius is taking control of Blood Tribe lands through corporations process. The following concerns have been highlighted by the Blood Tribe members: breaches of fiduciary duty, allegations of constructive fraud. Okay, hold on.
You want to take that?
Yeah, I'll take that.
This is his daughter calling in. He's been worried about her, so let's make sure she's all right.
You okay?
Yeah.
All right. Alan's right here. I'm making the announcement now. There's no candidates on.
Because you sent me that email, and that email said for tomorrow night.
What?
Yeah, on that email it said here is the link for tomorrow night.
Probably because I sent it Friday, but anyways, it's today. So and if you were talking, Roger, about having a Zoom tomorrow with people, and depending on when you want to do that, I may not be available. But for right now, Janine, there's nobody else joining us on here. Is that correct?
No.
Could you phone Janine? Could you phone Mom?
Yeah, I'll phone her.
All right. Yeah, she's frantically waving at me.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Thanks, Janine.
So getting back to the again, where John Jurius is taking control of Blood Tribe lands through corporations process. The following concerns have been highlighted by the Blood Tribe members: breaches of fiduciary duty, allegations of constructive fraud, conversion of Blood Tribe assets, unjust enrichment, equitable disgorgement, and restitution. Updates from the appreciation dinner for Roy Fox, November 22nd, 2024. That was last night. At the appreciation dinner held by Roy Fox on November 22nd, 2024, it was announced that John Jurius now heads the Kainai chieftainship and holds significant influence over the Blood Tribe, concerns were raised regarding the relationship between the Blood Tribe and BTAP, Blood Tribe Agricultural Project, which John Jurius owns now. During the dinner, Jurius reportedly stated that he used $250 million of his own equity to help establish a processing plant on the reserve. Members expressed concern about what they see as a long-term dependency on Jurius's investments, describing this as a marriage between Blood Tribe members and his financial control. Additionally, it was revealed that if elected, the new chief and council, Travis, Dorothy, Kirby, and Marie, plan to retain Roy Fox as a consultant or board member for Indigena Capital, which oversees oil energy companies and BTAP that includes the renewal of a 67-year lease, further solidifying the control of BTAP and other reserves assets without any community vote. Members believe this constitutes a violation of their rights and calls for transparency, accountability, and respect for democratic process. Message from the chief candidate, Roger Prairie Chicken, that's myself. The Blood Tribe deserves leadership that prioritizes transparency, protects treaty rights, and ensures the preservation of community assets for future generations. These issues demand immediate attention as the future of our lands and peoples is at stake. Roger Prairie Chicken, chief candidate. Okay, now I did speak with a few of the councillor candidates and the chiefs, and the chief candidates. They all agree that this has pulled the reserve together, and we are now have come to a force now. We are pulling together, and we have to basically seek and stop the process of the elections now and begin again for accountability and transparency.
To make it a fair election, to
Yep.
make it that the people who sincerely want to be there, make a difference for the Blackfoot people can have a fair shot at being elected.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
not rigged. Tell me about White Feather. Are they still using the computerized White Feather thing, which has so many flaws and is it's a problem, right?
Yep, it is a problem.
So talk more about that.
Well, in regards to the CBC News release of CBC report on the Peguis Reserve, I do believe that might be in Manitoba. One Feather was the ones that did the elections with those tabulators, and within the process, White Feathers lost a ballot box, and that ballot box basically it threw their elections to unaccountability process, and then they brought it to Supreme Court. But it wasn't resolved. It wasn't resolved at that point. But the story is on CBC News. So basically, that shows that the process of these tabulators are basically they are not how do you say it? They are not stamped by an organization that does the votes.
They're not certified
They're
by
not
Election
certified.
Canada or something.
You got it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. Mhm.
And
You had
then,
mentioned,
at the same time,
What was that, Scott?
I was going to just ask Roger, when we talked last time, you were talking about the CEO of the election is in heavy conflict of interest. There's a lot of issues with that as well. Is that correct?
Right, he's an employee of the Blood Tribe, right?
right.
Yeah.
And then there were some documents that was released, and in regards to his connections with the reserve entities, he is connected to Roy. And at the same time, the allegations have started right now. We had one person that came in that did a advanced poll on Wednesday. He came to my house and he says, Roger, I thought that we would go right in there and then to vote, but I had to sign a paper. And when I can't see, but when I took my glasses up to really truly look at it, they pulled that paper away from me.
Oh, so they said sign the paper, but when you can actually
Yeah,
read it, they pull it.
Exactly. So he said, I don't know what I signed, but I have to report that to you. And today, that was reported to me about about 12:35 this afternoon when he arrived at my home. So I just took notes of it, and then I took an audio of his statement. If we need that, we could certainly could use that. But there is so much so much conflict that's happening within the process right now, and then last night having their gala, and at the same time not all these announcements that they're doing, they pretty well breached the process of the Elections Act. That's what I see.
Well, you're telling me they already proclaimed who the chief was,
Yes, exactly.
right? So, and there's been no election. There's been the advance polls, which is flawed, which is using white feather, which is flawed.
Yeah.
And so all you're looking for is a fair democratic process to get the best person,
Well,
the people's choice.
Not just I, but all the chief candidates and all the candidates that
So for context, I think that it's important people understand the election hasn't happened. This is not people who've lost an election complaining. This is people at all levels, not just the candidates, but the constituents that are saying the process is fraudulent, it's flawed, it doesn't represent us, and it's not. Any outcome will be so tainted, we won't be able to move forward in decision or get behind the results. Does that sum up what's happening?
That's basically what's the sum of everything. And then at the same time, like the concerns that are coming in. There's another one that just came in here, and then basically, I just read you just one burp of it, and says, there's a long one too. It just simply says, Roy and the rest of his motley crew all have to go. They've done enough under the table damage and risking the future of life. They are a runaway train that needs to be halted before any more damage can occur.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, all you and the other. Oh, go ahead, Scott. What was your comment?
I was going to say those sentiments are really telling, but as Roger and Charlene showed us, they have documents. This is not just a smear campaign. This is not dirty politics. This is a people trying to say we need to stop this process and we need to clean it up before we can move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Charlene, sister, you got something you want to add? Here, you said. I'll get up.
We both.
Yeah. Scooch on in there.
Hi, Charlene.
Hi. Roger's still receiving documents, so there'll be probably more documents put on the advocacy group about what's happening on the reserve with BTAP and everything. So there'll be more information going up, more documents. And, these documents are true, on what's happening. So the reserve really needs to wake up, and I'm glad that people are talking about it. And Mr. Jury is talking about, what he said last night at the meal, that he invested of his own equity $250 million. And this was heard through people that were at that dinner. So they cannot say it's hearsay, but people were texting and commenting about it on Facebook. But prior to this, last year, 2 years ago, when people would go on the north end, that would be the irrigation project, they would park their vehicles, their buses, and then a non-native would come and say, you cannot park here. This is private property. And they would tell them you have to go park elsewhere. But this land belongs to every man, woman, and child equally. It doesn't belong to Roy Fox for him to be selling our land or to give the okay for a non-native to take control of our irrigation project. That land belongs to every man, woman, and child. So everybody has to start speaking out.
That's
with
that's one of the problems. Sorry, Charlene. That's why Alan and I are involved. We don't have a horse in the race, but it's hard for you to get your message out. Mainstream media. One of my questions is to Roger earlier is why isn't the mainstream media drawing attention to this? What vehicles do you have to let people know? And unfortunately, there's a lot of bias that's keeping what you have to share quiet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is why right now, like for instance, like for instance, when the post came up this morning, when I posted it, there was a lot of stories that leaked out of there. But when I posted together, and then the other night, it was feelings, frustrations. They all surfaced, and the people were really hard on each other. And then this morning, that story came out, and the what was happening, what was said in that dinner, Roy Fox's in that appreciation dinner. So this morning, all the candidates that were very vocal, everybody's vocal. So basically, we all united as one. So we're all working together again. We've united ourselves to be affiliated as Butt Tribe members, and I do believe this process is going to be tackled. At the same time, it's a letter that's going to be written. Is going to be forwarded to the what's his name again, the superintendent, RCMP superintendent of Alberta. And at the same time, that same letter will be given to Federal Elections Canada, and at the same time, we'll send it out to the taxpayers, wherever we're going to be listening for help, because this predatory lending and taking over reserves have to stop. It's not just affecting here; it's affecting Sixigay. It's affecting Bigani, that would be Gleason and Brockett, and all the reserves throughout Alberta. As that last document that showed you guys about the amalgamations, like American Holdings is taking over Tall Cree, and then that would be Dixon Sutena, that would be Sarcy in Calgary, and the other one is I can't remember the other one. It's kind of United States band, but this American Holdings is taking over and basically taking the identities of all the profits rates reserve. Basically, it's like they're just sucking the wealth from us, and we're not getting anything. So that's how big it is. And then at the same time, there's one more comment to that thing is basically now all the documentations are coming through. And my question to the people of Alberta, of the people, the taxpayers, who could we turn to for help? That's a lawyer that could help us in alleviating corruption at its worst. This has got to go to the highest courts of the land. A thorough investigation has to be done.
As somebody who is not part of the Blood Tribe, and I try and stay in touch with issues, reconciliation, try and understand the history. But what we really see here is that you're asking for help, just the basic level human help for the basis of an honest, fair election that isn't corrupt, that people aren't, sliding money across the palms in the back room, that all people expect in every developed nation in the world. So this is not an unusual thing, and we all need to stand behind you and say, look, I don't know the facts. I've never met Mr. Fox, but I do know that I saw the documents you shared. I've heard what you've said and shared from other people, and there is definitely an issue here that needs to be examined.
With this election, a lot of people are talking about it that it's already rigged. So, for instance, previous chief and council, a lot of people are saying they have to be new. So if this election goes through, let's say all the old councils are Richard Red Crow, Martin Heavyhead, Mickey Dayrider, um, uh, who else is there? Dorothy First Rider, Kyla Crow, Little Bear. Um, so there's I think I counted 33 old candidates that are previous chief and council. And one didn't get back on this time. And, you know, the things that we hear, they're 99% true. They were having a meeting up in Edmonton. Kirby First Rider was up there. No longer, Kirby Many Fingers, excuse me. He was not elected on this council. He was in Edmonton. And our chief and council weren't at that meeting. And Kirby was there with Indian Affairs, with the government officials. And they were dealing with things that were pertain to the reserve. The government officials told Kirby, "What are you doing here?" And then Kirby said, "I'm the lead negotiator." Indian Affairs told him, "You're not elected official. You're not chief and council. You're not a legal negotiator, a lead negotiator. Chief and council have to be here." So that's telling us how many meetings did chief and council miss that were very important with the federal government. Instead, they sent Kirby first, Kirby Many Fingers.
So you weren't represented. The
And
tribe wasn't represented at all in that case.
they weren't represented. They sent a guy that was supposed to be a lead negotiator, and he wasn't. He wasn't part of chief and council no more.
And in regards to the names that came out of the previous council, as to my research that I provided to the people in regards to the corporation structures, most of their names are on the wholly owned enterprises. And this wholly owned enterprise corporation document, businesses on the reserve, there's 38 of them. And at the same time, those 38 corporations, they're basically run by chief and council as extra money for their own pockets. We have never seen a financial statement from all the corporations. Just like today, when things kind of heated up today, what happened? Starting, they posted the distribution.
They posted that we're getting a distribution to the Black Tribe members, and this was posted today after Roger had posted everything, and everything went with John Julius and Roy Fox last night. So they posted that the band was getting a distribution, and landowners were getting $735.75. Non-landowners are getting $1,000. And this is supposed to be distributed December the 10th in Standoff, December the 11th in Lethbridge at Sagokutuki, December the 12th in Calgary, and then December the 13th at the Band Administration Building. Mm-hmm. With our distribution, we have a lot of people that are on the street and they don't have their ID. They will not give them their distribution until they get their ID. And that's very difficult to get your ID, like even if you don't have one form of ID on you.
Yeah.
So they're not being very fair. And even for them to get assistance to go back to the reserve, they have to have their ID, bank statements, and a bunch of other things before they get assistance, help.
So
And
the
then
people
I hope, like I said, with the candidates, with the chief candidates I spoke to today, you know, I hope, you know, like I've included everybody here, and that we're all working together. So tomorrow, we're going to be sending that Zoom link out, and then so we'll probably begin. We'll post that this evening when that time is going to begin. We like to open it up for the for the candidates to be able to put their 2 bits into as their concerns as to what has happened about this breach of confidentiality on the Elections Act.
Roger, and what time tomorrow?
I would say I would like to begin possibly at 11 o'clock if that's okay with everybody tomorrow.
Okay, so now, Scott, are you available to do that tomorrow at 11? Have a Zoom link, send it out to Roger to distribute to everybody else?
Yes, I believe I am, Al. I have a yes.
Okay, I'm not.
I'll be available. Yes, sorry. I will for this. This
Okay,
is really
so
important.
you will, Scott.
Yep.
Scott, just to clarify, you're going to set up a Zoom link meeting. You're going to send it to Roger. Roger's going to distribute it to all the. Oh, we just lost internet connection for a second. There we go.
We're back.
Oh,
Okay,
you're
does that
back.
make sense? Yes.
I don't have Roger's contact information, so you'll have to.
I will send it to you.
Okay.
Yep, no
Yeah.
problem. I can set that up.
Yeah, and then so at that note, we'll have the meeting. There's going to be a lot of people on there, but what needs to be done is to hear certain people. We can't hear from everybody because it's going to take all day.
Mhm.
We got some designated people that will that will speak, and then so we'll try and get everybody and the concerns out tomorrow, and then decide what's going to happen if we're going to proceed on with the moving, stopping this election with the, by providing the, the process to the police and to the Elections Act Canada.
Excellent. Just a
And
question,
I hope
Charlene.
they honor it. They'll just probably proceed on with it.
Has
Yes.
Mr. Fox ever commented on these things directly, publicly?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't heard him comment on anything. Usually if it's anybody that's commenting on what's happening it would be somebody from
Tribal government.
tribal government. Their communications people would be the ones that would take care of all the comments that are going on.
That would be Nadine Good Striker, sometimes Dorothy First Rider. And the communiques is what they provide to us. That they say that they provided the open information. It's just notes on a docket, and then they go ahead and move on a decision without the people having a vote or a say to the process of whatever they're doing.
I would think that people, though, like Mr. Fox, where so many of these things are very personal, that he would want to step up and directly answer to his people these allegations, which you have proof of. I would think that would be an automatic response of somebody that was innocent in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Like me speaking and doing some talking on with Roger, a lot of people be wondering, like, why is Charlene talking? No, but I have a big investment in this too. Mm-hmm. I'm speaking on behalf of those mothers and grandmothers that are worried about the future of their grandchildren, 500 years down the road.
Well, when we're talking about elections, there should never be any doubt that the most important voice is the voice of the people. That should always be clear in any democratic election. It shouldn't be the person who has the biggest campaign fund or has the most access to, public relations people, etc. So I don't think there's any question that you have a right to, and the other people that are sharing their points of view obviously have a right.
With things that are happening on our reserve, they're, our elders, they're being kept in the dark. And there's a lot of our elders that really need help with upkeeping of their homes. And a lot of our elders do not know this. Chief and council send a large sum of money over to Blood Tribe Housing, emergency money for them to get their houses fixed. But a lot of them don't know that. There was one elder that flunked and her hot water heater went. And she went down and asked for help. And then they just told her, come and sign these papers and remortgage your house and we'll help you. And she said, no, I don't want to do that. And then our elders aren't supposed to be no longer paying for their homes. And, they don't get very much on their pension. And then they were telling them to go and remortgage their house. By the time they're done paying for their mortgage, they won't have anything to buy to put food on their table.
That's a terrible situation. So the plan is tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, we're going to have a meeting where people can join. When I'm done, I'll catch up with Alan after our talk here, find out what you guys have in mind, get your contact information, and we'll set that up. So we'll be back, and hopefully we'll hear from more people about the situation. And I really like what you said, that people are coming together over this, because ultimately that's the nature of any community is coming together over hardships and fighting for justice and equality, right?
Just a final comment on the candidates. I am very, very, how to say it, happy and proud that the chief candidates got together, and one candidate, thank you, and then your words are important, and at the same time, they basically said we had to put our differences aside now in order to move forward on this one thing. And at the same time, so once this is settled, then we will go back to our election mode again. And this time we don't have to worry about any zealousness, corruption, or any kind of falsifying information. So it's all for the people, and the best man, best woman get into chief, and all the council candidates also. So that is what we're seeking, is accountability and transparency. Thank you.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Well said.
Roger, if you're okay with this, I had a thing from Mandy that I would like to read. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay.
All right. Hi, Alan again. So here, two amazing leaders of the Blackfoot Nation right here, looking for the support of other leaders of the Blackfoot Nation so that they can get a fair and reasonable election. And who doesn't want that, right? So this is Mandy Dececco Kolebaba, a beautiful human being, smart woman. She is, what is her Blackfoot name?
Kiim.
Yeah, so means
compassionate woman.
Exactly. So Mandy wanted to add to this conversation. I've had the pleasure of working with Elder Prairie Chicken for the past 3 years. He is honest. He is a man of integrity. He is kind, compassionate, and passionate about the people. Roger brings calm to chaos and is so full of wisdom. I personally witnessed his ability to connect and reconnect those that are struggling with their culture and community. Roger is a confidant, my friend, and someone I go to when I need a reassurance about what I am doing. He would make a wonderful chief. So just thought I'd share that.
Yeah.
And now tomorrow then, Scott's going to set up a Zoom link, send it over to Roger. Roger distribute it with Janine and your network. And then you want all of the chief and council candidates to join in and create a plan so that there can be a fair and transparent election, and the best leader comes to win that election, as opposed to a flawed one feather electronic programmable thing that fails, and all of the other other things that have occurred. So I'm not going to comment on what they are. Okay. So anything else we want to add?
God bless you guys. We'll get through this and we'll have our election.
Okay, Roger, I have one suggestion for you. It's cold. It's ugly. You and I have warm homes to go to. And we know that there's some people that don't.
Yeah.
How about you give a little prayer for those?
Yeah.
You good with that?
I'll do that.
Okay.
Ayo nati natus. O kakpikista pinukaki. Ukato kui kakni kakta pesi manana kaki kakkimennan kapi. O kam kinista pimennan sa sitaka pa kapi no sitakoksa pato kuwatsa. Ite tsiksu kaya. O kakso makakapi ta sannan sa pimennan. Anniksi tassammanna napi. Nisi annika kaki. O taki sami kaki. O Kiim bisa kachishkonna kano kakan dami sita kishpin. O kaki mi kaisto kaki support chikai kakana kaki tapi kaki kato sa pi kakana kito da psikichikis kaki mukta kaki aksa ako banistayin ni pa kaki mi chinisto kaksuman saki. O kakso momi yabla piskata kipina. O gako kutsi pinna ni beta pisini. O gako spumpusinan. Nakagastawaps. Kamutani, Stawatsumanaksa, and God bless all of you guys. Okay.
Hi. Okay.
Done?
Get a match in.